Hey guys, it's TRIZE here, and what you're seeing in front of you is a car body. To be specific, I'm going to be replicating the infamous Zastava Yugo, but a little bit better than it is in real life. So let's start off with the panel material, all the good stuff. So the panel material, good old steel, ladder type chassis, steel chassis, with a front transverse engine placement. And for this front suspension, let's do a solid axle coil and a solid axle leaf rear suspension. And of course, the quality, like I mentioned, of how bad it is, -15 for everything. For the body, engine, the vehicle itself, everything. So for the engine, let's just jump right into it right now, while remaining in its inline-4 glory. So for the engine, it'll be made of cast iron, but let's try to make like a 1.6 liter engine. Let's drop the stroke quite a bit up in here. Increase the bore too, and the stroke a little bit. Now, right here, 1600 cc's for the bore at 82.4 millimeters, the stroke at 75 millimeters to get to exactly 1.6 liters. With a push rod header made of cast iron, and the engine, -15. For the balance shaft, we may need it, but let's just do none of that whatsoever. Cast everything, keep on going. We might drop the compression probably around a 7, and drop the quality, and turbochargers, no, too expensive. And of course, the fuel system, let's do a regular single beer of a single carb setup, compact intake running on, let's do leaded fuel, not avgas, aviation fuel, regular fuel, leaded. Exhaust, all good stuff, basic ass stuff, no mufflers, valve float. Well, we got enough octane, but we got severe valve float, so let's try to edit this bad boy right now. What if we stiffen the springs to the next crankshaft century? We're reducing valve flow by dropping down the cam profile, but I want more power to a certain extent. Normally if you drop the exhaust, oh whoa. Yeah, you really drop the exhaust. Normally if you do this, normally you're at a 50.8 millimeters, which equals to 2 inches. And if it's like a very small and not so powerful engine, normally if you drop the exhaust size, you really do get a little boost of your performance, which pretty much gives you that boost in performance. So an 8.0 compression, up the ignition timing quite a bit. It's pretty much the biggest cheese is just increase the ignition timing, which boosts fuel economy, and quite a bit of performance on top of that. So knocking, it is. Alright, let's finalize it. 62.1 horsepower at 4,500 RPM, and a torque at 76.8 pounds-feet of torque at 3,900 RPM. So right now, let's get a hear of what this janky-ass 1.6 liter engine sounds like right now. Well, at least it's better than the ones made in frickin' Yugoslavia back in the day. So for the drive type, we pretty much locked into a front-wheel drive because of it being front transverse and all good stuff, but we're going to be using a manual 4-speed with the top speed set almost 100 miles an hour. Let's do 94.5 WXKR. If you're from Northwest Ohio, you probably get the joke. Or just flat out get what I'm saying. What happens if we put crossfire? Do we keep the 175s? Yes, we do, so crossfire it is. Hard long life. I'm wrong, way wrong. Let's just do radials because, well, we in the 1980s. And the brakes, hopefully it'll keep up by not fading and all that good stuff, despite making this a -15 and all that good stuff. So all that, negative. The interior of this vehicle, let's use the cheapy seats, front and back, yeah. Cheapy seats in the front, cheapy seats in the back, making this a 5-seater with a basic-ass interior and AM radio, basic AM radio, so you can hear your tunes, and that'll be it. And advanced 1980s safety standards, what are you talking about, man? And finally, for the suspension, basic McJasic oversteering. Well, I don't care, this car is supposed to be bad to begin with, and hey, we're under 2 tons, it's not that bad, or 1 ton, which equals to 2,000 pounds. So yeah, pretty much fine on this vehicle in terms of like the designing with the engine, the chassis, the rest of the vehicle, all that stuff. So let's jump into the fixtures and get ready to design this vehicle right now. So for the design of the semi-replica vehicle, starting with the front, I initially decided to use the go-to fixtures with the slanted square headlights. These are later changed to some inset square lights which look a bit more like the Yugo. I kept the grille as is since it does have some vertical and horizontal trim pieces that make it more attractive. I even painted the bumpers to a dark black plastic color as the real-life Yugo used that exact paint scheme. I also had the bumper and side indicators, the side reflectors, front and rear windshield wipers, and many more little fixtures and details of the car. Not only that, for the rear end of this car, I did a pretty good job of replicating the lighting setup and the indentation of where the license plate goes. Near the end of the designing phase, I decided to improve the engine as it produces less power than the 1.3-liter single overhead cam engine of around 67 horsepower with a fuel injector. I changed it up to a single barrel double carb setup, and then I tuned the engine quite a bit and got it up to 63.5 horsepower. I then came up with the name of this vehicle called the Zastava Yugo 16S. That name shouldn't bring up any trademark violations, Zastava. So after getting everything done with this car, here's what it came out. A knockoff, so-called replica of the Yugo with a subpar engine and abysmal reliability. I guess I should have installed a harmonic dimmer to make it even better than it is. So we got the car all set and done, and real briefly before we jump into BeamNG, what are the times like at the automation test drive? I'm just gonna get a time of this. I'm not gonna like go around the track, all that good stuff, and let that play. So for the time at automation, a 3 minutes 10 seconds, 40 milliseconds at the automation track, the quote-unquote Top Gear test track, aka airfield, is a 1 minute 55 seconds 43 milliseconds, just under 2 minutes. And a side note, does this cost less than $4,000? Yes, at an estimated approximate cost of $3,650, so just around $340 less than the actual Bugle, which was released at around $39.90, I believe. So yeah, the Zastava Yugo 16S does indeed cost less than an actual Zastava Yugo. Despite having some 3 problems with this vehicle here, such as the crankshaft stress, lack of power steering, and the clearance issues of the front engine being quite narrow, let's jump into BeamNG.drive to test out this slow, cheap-ass vehicle out. So here we are at the map of Utah, USA, and first things first, the freaking... This is so freaking loud up in here. I mean, yeah, we got the exhaust pipe and everything. No mufflers, just straight pipe to the brim up in here. But I'll try to deal with the noise as best I can. So first things first, for our base performance test we're going to try out this vehicle, what we'll be doing is the 0 to 62 acceleration test, followed by the 62 to 0 brake test, and lastly, a top speed run with this type of vehicle being around 64-ish horsepower. I don't think it's really going to make it whatsoever. I mean, it's going to take quite a while to get up to 80 miles per hour, pretty much just under 88 miles an hour, like freaking DeLorean speeds. So let's start off with the acceleration test of this vehicle right now. Accelerate as we go, as we kind of struggle a bit. Accelerating into first gear, now to second gear. Second gear we go into third gear at bullet 54 as we just crossed the bridge. Are we gonna beat 17 seconds? The answer is... almost. 0 to 62 in 17.17 seconds of 958.04 feet. So with 16.9 seconds we got in automation, here we got up to 17 seconds, and brake test we go, no skidding, not that much. That's interesting. 62 to 0 in 3.44 seconds of 146.54 feet. These were some beefy front brakes. I mean, they're maxed out to 250 millimeters, I believe, and the rear is at like 200 millimeters. I kind of dropped the size a little bit while designing this vehicle, but hardly any skidding without ABS. It ain't too bad, but could be better. So for a top speed run already in effect, really got a better 0 to 60 in 50.78 seconds of 937.96 feet by doing a launch control launch. I launched it at around like, we're gonna reach top speed. So let's say I launched it at around like 3,000 RPM, hammered it down, go into first gear, and boom, no problem. So we definitely reached its top speed. We're at 81 miles an hour and counting, so... We got some breathing room. 83, can we get before the tunnel up ahead? So 84 on the speedometer, 83 in the airspeed, so we pretty much reach its top speed without redlining, right? I guess so. So we're reducing speed. So let's get ready for a crash test. So let's get to the center divider of the tunnel here and get a crash going and slow down this camera right now. So 8 times slow-mo in effect. There goes the car into the tunnel wall. Boom, there it goes. There goes some of the fixtures like the mirrors, the license plate. There goes the rear of the vehicle as we come down. So at the roof, dead on our roof, and full time. You're telling me that type of impact on the front had not killed the engine whatsoever? Are you serious? What if I try going? Reverse. Really? Really? We could... yeah, we could drive. We could drive like nothing had even happened one bit. We could auto steer to the right. Look at this. In this road, I'm not steering. Let it go. Thank you, car. So, despite this type of impact, I mean, look at the aftermath destruction of the vehicle. We got the rear side kind of messed up because we got a roof impact, and damn, we pretty much made a short-ass wheelbase version of this car here, man. Front end, oh boy. That side, well, it's not as bad as the right side, but the left side, you can see how bad it is with the shortened wheelbase of this vehicle. So right now, we're going to be doing a time trial run at the Garfield Heights, but this is a modded time trial layout that I downloaded, so we'll be going to the Suburban Autocross layout with this here vehicle. And since it's a point-to-point race, we're going to be doing 1 lap in the noon hours. So let's line up at the starting line and take a look at this time trial right now. So here we are at the start and finish line, which I believe is one of the spawn points for the garage, I believe. I haven't played this map in so long, so let's get ready to start things off here. 3, 2, 1, do the launch. Yeah, goddammit. And no textures, had a lot of texture issues. Sheesh, ready to clear my cache or what? So making a left turn. Despite having no textures for the grass, what do I do here? Wait. Oops, I was supposed to stay in the parking lot. So try to stay in these nuts parking lots. So hit here. Kind of a little confusing. So hit there and then make a left turn. Didn't really need to upshift back there. So pretty much just hugging the parking lot right here. So we're going to be back onto the main roads here as I make this right turner and straight ahead. So yeah, with this here vehicle, especially for this vehicle body, I think I used like 3 times, I believe. A couple of them was for the People's Car Poverty Edition, both the standard model and the sport model. And this is probably the 3rd time that I'm using this here body, and woo, make a left-hander. So might as well not just reset. Let's just keep on going and damn, could you like put some barriers down for me, please? I know it's supposed to be like a illegal street race, but give me an idea, please. What now? I make a left. Stay into this parking lot. Oh no, I turn around. Oh, okay. I think for the textures here, both the no textures for the sidewalk and on the grass, I believe to go into the world editor and like point out the textures, like actually like show them like these are the textures for the grass here. Kind of like with Leap of Death at first. Like for Leap of Death, like back like a couple years ago, you had to reinsert the grass textures, the rock textures, like pretty much for everything. But now since it's been updated, we're good to go. So here we are, final lap. We're making final checkpoint at each of this garage of a 2 minutes 35 seconds, 413 milliseconds. Kind of interesting. Went from one spawn point to the other. I believe this is the other spawn point for the map here. So went from way back there to over here. So real briefly for the aftermath destruction of the vehicle. Big time front end damage because we hit the garage, interior garage wall. We probably would have breached through the damn garage in real life, but whatever. It did its job. The car, not so much. So for the final part of the video, let's jump ourselves down to car jump array to see if this wannabe Czech Republic car will show its true glory. So get you to the top of the ramp to launch this bad boy right now. So here we are at the top of car jump arena, and we got a 3 light and a 4 light and a 5 light. So get ready to accelerate this here vehicle right now. Accelerate. Here's the car. Just freaking slow ass motion. So here we go down the ramp, going to 3rd gear. Now that bit of a 0 to 62 in 777 to 260.04 feet over rev risk. Returning to a goddamn spaceship. What is a space balls up in here? Knock off Star Trek like we're in like a Chinese knockoff, 114 miles an hour. We're gonna almost land it. We're upside down. Oh, goddamn front flip. Well, I'm kind of afraid to start the engine, so let's just drift. 140 miles an hour. Flip this over. Thank you. Ran the pool, and right as we rest at the pool, right to the very, very end of the pool, to be specific. So I pretty much got all of our tires out of here, so let's get this to surface, and then slowly but surely bring this upright without doing too much damage. So here is the car. No tires seem to exist at all. They're still in the pool. Who gives a damn? Who needs tires anyways? Just start me up. I'm wrong. Alright, so what would happen if I tried to land this bad boy? See, 111 miles an hour. Hey! Probably 110 miles an hour is probably its limit for this vehicle, so yeah, we landed as so. I killed the engine up there, so one more flip. Go into sand. Roll the bitch over. Go over the pool. Through the side of the freaking railing. I think we went through the damn railing as we go over in the grass, out of the road, to land this vehicle upright as so. So for the final part of the video, as I accelerate down the bridge as so, we're gonna see what's like getting a very high-speed crash test going at the final bridge pillar. And speaking of bridges, what's kind of a sad story with the Yugo in real life, somebody in the Mackinac Bridge, I believe, Mackinac Bridge in Michigan, was pushed off the bridge by some high wind gusts. Like, they reported it was like 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, and some lady was driving the Yugo, and they just blew over on the top of the bridge, killing her. So that never happened with this car, so let's go to 16, then 100 times, and get a crash test going to final bridge pillar. So here is the crash. There goes the tire about to come off the vehicle, and there goes the mirror, doing mirror things as it comes off the vehicle, and just does that as so. So 16, and full time. Why is the engine whoopsie, still running? Alright, instead of doing the aftermath destruction of the... Wait. Is the whole frame of the chassis about to come off of the body? Look at the back end. I mean, it's like the whole chassis is about to come off of it here, man. This tire's still spinning, including this one up here. Both front tires are spinning. What's it like driving? No, we're over revving. Well, we can barely get a tire down, but a tire's broken. Well, unfortunately, can't do nothing about it. Can't drive it, and it's extremely damaged, so let's just leave it there as is. So that'll do it with automation and BeamNG.drive with the Zastava Yugo 16S. For a partial replica based on the actual Zastava Yugo, I mean, I pretty much got like 3/4 of the aspects like correct with the headlights, the bumpers, the lighting placements, and some of the axes of the vehicle. But there were some things that were changed with the vehicle, especially with the side view mirrors being totally different than the real Yugo. And about the performance of this car, even though it is a 60-some horsepower engine of a 1.3 liter, or excuse me, 1.6 liter, it pretty much competes like a 1.3, but it's bigger, worse, and pretty much sums up the entirety about this cheap-ass vehicle being under $4,000. And for those who are interested in this type of content, please be sure to like and subscribe so you won't miss out on any videos like this in the future. And also, check out my social media down in the description below. So this is TRIZE, rising up, and signing out.